Hello, my name is Garrett Arentsen, and I have a presentation on replacing the smart boards in the junior high wing with Promethean boards. There are multiple reasons why we should start the transition from from smart boards to Promethean boards. Obviously, the first reason I want to discuss is operating costs. These projectors that were used to run the smart boards have these bulbs that are used to actually show what is on the computer to translate that to the smart board. The issue with that is that these bulbs need to be replaced every year, and so because of that, they obviously have an extra operating cost. And these projector bulbs are somewhat expensive at around $200 per bulb. So if you add in all of the smart boards the school has, that's a lot of money that's being spent every year. And so along with having to pay for the bulbs, you also have to pay for the power of the projector along with the smart board, which is extra money, whereas a Promethean board has a built-in LCD screen, so you do not need the projector at all, which means that therefore you'll be spending less money per year on using the Promethean boards, even though we will be paying a little bit extra money now. So obviously there are also just more things you can do on a Promethean board versus a smart board. There are many other apps like Quizlet and Quizzes, things that we can use in our classrooms for kids. And along with this, it is also completely separate from the computers, so we can either just completely detach them, so that way, along with an app, the teachers can connect to the Promethean board if they want to, but they can also stay separate from it while the kids work on the Promethean board, which is nice. So the plan is to upgrade the smart boards in the junior high room by replacing them with Promethean boards from the actual Promethean company on PrometheanWorld.com. And so the model that we are planning on buying is the Active Board Nickel, which is a slightly cheaper model, since a lot of these Promethean boards are unfortunately somewhat expensive. So, cost of materials. So the main cost of material would obviously just be the Promethean boards, which come with a bracket to mount to the walls, so we do not require anything beyond the Promethean boards. Although we can look into buying stands, so that way we can move them around the school if we choose or wish to. So I've already contacted Promethean on the prices, but I have yet to receive a response from them. There's nothing I can do about that, unfortunately. So communications, as I said earlier, Promethean is the only true company that sells these, so it's the only place I can really get a definitive price. They will cost this much, and so I've already talked to them. Again, unfortunately, cannot get any sort of response. Constraints and troubleshooting. So, because Promethean boards are very expensive, costing what I've seen to be $1,250 at the least, we can fix this by making fundraisers to help support with the money. Like, we can use fundraisers, and with your support, hopefully we can be able to pay for at least a few. So if we were to purchase Promethean boards for all of the school's classrooms, we simply wouldn't have the money to replace them. Again, just how expensive they are. So if we order only 7, which is how many are needed in the junior high wing, not including the band room, that is a lot less than 17, which would save us a lot of money trying to buy them. And along with the only buying these first 7, if there's more running money raised in the future, we can buy them for the younger kids. So some trade-offs we might have to make, because obviously we might not be able to raise the money for all of the 7 smart boards in the junior high wing. We can only buy a few for this year and then continue to raise money in future years to buy others. And since we need both money and people to get and set up the Promethean boards, we can help with fundraisers. Obviously we will start them, and we can set up the Promethean boards, since it is mostly mounting a bracket. So the schedule is that, since we obviously need to raise money for them, we can do that over the summer, and then by July 25th we can order the Promethean boards that we have the money for. So then hopefully they will be in by August 2nd or 3rd. Again, since we have not gotten any information from Promethean, we cannot judge shipping time, although we can presume that it'll be around a week. And we can hopefully install them on either the 2nd or the 8th of August, depending on when they get here. So if they get here in exactly so if they get exactly here in like 10 days, which is our presumption on when they will get here, we can install them that day. But if needed, we can install them on the 8th, on the next Saturday, so that way it's not interfering with a weekday. So why to fund this? So many smart boards need to replace. Although not all, many have issues and they often need to be replaced or added on to because of issues that they've had. So not only do they have less issues, because they are oftentimes a little bit newer, but we can, again, they have more features and abilities, and we can save money in the long run. So for example, there are 15 touch points on the Promethean board, which means that 15 separate people can be drawing on the Promethean board, and it will be able to sense all of them at once, something that the smartboard cannot do. So as I said earlier, there are many apps that can be used to make the classroom more interesting. Promethean has their own apps that are designed for the Promethean boards. That way you can use them to present in a different way to the class, make it more interesting for some people who find class boring. So it has, like I've said, it has a built-in LCD screen, which means that there's no need for any projectors, which means we can remove those and possibly sell them for some money in fundraising. So it has its own operating system, or OS, which means that it can run completely independently from the computer and does not need the computer at all. So the Promethean board has a 4K screen versus a normal projector, which would have 1280 by 800 pixels. And so if you do the math on how many pixels there are in the screen, there was 808,294,400 pixels versus 1,024,000 pixels, which is just a small difference. And obviously, with having no need for the projectors or buying the projector bulbs, we will have a lot lower maintenance costs. And that is why I believe we should replace the smartboards in the junior high wing of Germantown with Promethean boards.